Clary's injury has sent shockwaves through the Demons faithful, but it's time to step up in his absence with the former Premiership hero returning to face his old mob. Taboo or not taboo? Welcome to the official, unofficial podcast of the Melbourne Demons, the DeeBrief. I'm your host, Adrian Horton, on this Thursday evening with Tom Marquezani. Taboo or not taboo, Tommy?
I don't even know what you're talking about. If I'm honest.
Let's talk about the mirror that you just sold.
Yeah, sold a mirror on Marketplace. Marketplace is just such a fantastic place.
Platform? Place?
Bought the mirror for $10, sold it for $200. That's what's up.
That is what's up. Derek made a funny comment when you were out the front selling it, and he said he thought it was potentially a prop, and you were going to say Melbourne need to take a good hard look at themselves in the mirror. Certainly not the case. It was a tough game last week. Where were you watching? What was your emotion?
Probably the same as everyone else. First half, lots of ohs and then half time came around and was like, well, lucky we're only 14 points down.
Yeah.
And then that third quarter, whatever thing happened in the wet, and I was just like, what is going on here? And Grundy started shushing the crowd. And I was just walking. I was pacing my friend's house. We were all watching. I was the only Melbourne supporter there, but they were hating my presence. Fair enough. I was apologising after screaming every 5 seconds. Some of the kicks in by them that were just working out.
Yeah.
We
The
don't
hack kick that dropped short.
Yeah. It's just like so many different like little things.
Yeah.
Gorn kind of getting pulverised and not getting a free kick. If he wasn't 6 foot 100, just because he's a big guy, you don't get a free kick. We're pointing out little things that, wouldn't have changed maybe the outcome of the game. As I said, we were lucky to be within it at half time, but yeah, it was flat considering how high we were coming into the game with the news of Salem and but yeah, it was kind of similar. Funnily enough, at the same ground to the Essendon thing where we got jumped and, our brand just was non-existent. And, yeah, they just simply beat us.
They did. They beat us. You can't win games of footy against contenders when you play one quarter. I know we got in front. We got a pretty healthy lead at one point. But ultimately, you need to put together at a minimum 2.5 quarters against the best. Grind out the extra quarter and a half. Like, we were getting lucky at times last year in that 10-0 run because of the calibre of opposition we were playing. We were winning games off one quarter. It's not going to happen this year. It's definitely not going to happen against a really good team. I think we learned a great lesson. Port, they're up there. They're fighting the good fight. They're going to be there at the pointy end, potentially, if they keep going the way they're going.
I'd love to play them again in saying that.
I would love to play them as well. Definitely isn't a fear factor about them, purely because if you run through the list on Friday, we had so many players down.
Well, you just look at we spoke about this off air. Ryan Burton, played he was taking these contested marks like it was like what's going on?
Yeah.
Anyway, it was their night.
It was their night. We digress. We only lost by 4 points. We move on. We're going to get Nugwang on the line very shortly. I think he's coming into the chat room soon, so we'll get him on because, of course, this weekend it's all about one of his former favourites. Probably still a favourite of his. Probably has a place in his heart.
I think he does for all of us in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, it hasn't been that long. He won a flag with us, like
that third quarter.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
Forever. It's there forever for us.
Yeah. So it is a strange situation, him coming to the MCG, Luke Jackson, that is. Everyone knows who we're speaking about. And it's maybe a potential conundrum for Melbourne supporters. Are you going to rock up? Are you going to boo him? Is there going to be a bit of hostility in the stands towards him? Or are we going to take the classy approach and applaud him? I'm more in that camp now. I thought initially, stuff him, he's left our club. The way that it dragged on for so long, we didn't really hear anything from his camp or his management or himself per se. Left a bit of a sour taste in my mouth. We can't blame him for the way that we got bent over a little bit by Peter Bellin Freo. Like, they just played a good tactical game at the dealing table, negotiating table.
There was also just the matter of them finishing where they did. It's just whatever, but we get a great chance this year of hopefully seeing them fall a little bit further, and then it will work out, I think, for both clubs.
Yeah.
Jackson's gonna be a star of the comp.
Starting to play well.
Yeah, absolutely. And he always was. He's a freak.
Yeah.
He's a freak. And Sean Darcy, like that collab there is like, it's scary for future. But in present, it's really working. But like for future, like, like Darcy's like in all Australian contention at the moment with Tim English.
I agree. I think it's those two for sure. They're unbelievable at stoppage. They're the best team in the comp for hit-outs to advantage as well. So it's an area that we need to improve on, particularly at stoppage. We've been a bit poor in that area. And certainly we're against Port as well. So, look, it's a fascinating matchup. They're coming over here to try and beat us on our home turf again like they did last year. They broke our winning streak, which was pretty much Jake Bowie's winning streak. So that was sad for him.
Sorry, Jake.
But yeah, we were on a...
Is his calf all right?
I think so. He's been training fully.
Okay,
so
he's fine.
I think little Bow Wow's going to get up and play, and we love him for that.
It was a weird... Because I remember I flew back that was my first game at the G in a really long time, probably since... I think Geelong round 4 when we beat them, like in our flag year.
Yeah.
Did we beat him round 4 in flag year?
Yep.
Yep. That was a lot. So from there, and then I came over here last year. We were on that whatever, and then came up against Freo and we lost. And then I went to the next 2 or 3 games and we lost every single one.
And you're like,
and I was like, I'm the curse.
Leaving forever. That's funny because I'm pretty sure that was round 4. That's when Cozzy put Selwood on his ass.
Yeah.
If you remember that game.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got Nugwang. Nugwang's here. Hello.
What's up, my mangs?
Oh, do we have to put on headphones?
Yeah, we put the headphones on so we can hear him. How are you, Nugwang?
Yeah, going well, brother. Just got back from the vet.
Just got back from the vet.
How are you, bro?
How you going?
Yeah, good, man. How are you?
Yeah, going all right.
How's Kiki?
Kiki's fine. Just had his teeth cleaned. Didn't need any teeth removed, so we're happy with that.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Oh, fantastic.
I thought you gave them bones. That's how they clean their teeth. Or is this like a bit of a checkup kind of thing?
Oh,
he's gone.
He's gone, but he'll come back. That's okay.
And he's back.
Hey, Nugwang.
Welcome back.
Let's just start talking about Doggo, guys.
Yeah, well, we're just speaking about him. So I put it high on the agenda tonight, and I said, taboo or not taboo? And Nugwang, the floor is yours. You can talk about Luke. You can talk about Luke Jackson and whether you think we should be applauding him at the MCG, or whether you think there'll be a few nuffs that'll have a go at him.
As you can see here, I'll be very much applauding because he's a premiership player for the Dees. I've still got his badge on my scarf proudly because I loved him and he helped us break a drought that a lot of people didn't think was ever going to happen. So I think he deserves a cheer and whatever. He got the compo for us. Albeit at the time we probably thought we could have got more, but he made sure he didn't leave on the preseason drafts. And I just wish him well. And he took all the cash. Like, come on, anyone when they're 20 years old would be doing the same thing. I feel like we've said this multiple times.
Cash is cool. Cash is cool.
And cash to go home as well. Cash
to go home. Yeah, you take the cash every single day of the week. And he's just won a flag. It's not like he left, leaving the potential of success. He got it. He got the Premiership Cup. It was the drought breaker. Say we don't win one for another 57 years. That would suck. But he would be forever one of the players that we would talk about because he did it.
Yep.
Definitely.
And some people didn't think the Dees were ever going to get a lot.
People will boo him because people boo.
People boo. It's true. People boo.
People have different opinions.
Yeah,
in general.
that's fine.
That's fine. But I won't be booing. I'll be trying to clap over the boos.
Yeah, I think I might as well. So I've come full circle on this. I was a little bit bitter and dirty on it when he got traded, and then we started speaking about the build-up to this game There'll be a lot of heat in it, no doubt. I actually can't wait for this one. This is as pumped as I've been about a game probably since Sydney, I reckon, in round 3. We need a pressure relieving win as well, so it's big for us. But I think if Melbourne supporters, I don't know, if we all, it's not about rallying together, but if we all just do what is probably the right thing and applaud him. We spoke about this at the pub in Adelaide on Saturday, Nuggo. Like, Melbourne supporters will look so classy. If we take that path and the commentators pick up on it and they're like, oh, listen to the Melbourne supporters. They've gone the other way. They're actually applauding this guy. It'll make us look like a great supporter base. It's probably not going to happen.
But the other thing is,
it's not going to happen. And we spoke about a lot of different other things at that pub. So I don't know. And a lot of those things probably aren't going to happen either.
I feel like it's also like reflective of what our players do. And I just know for a fact that we've got a pretty nice team.
Yeah.
We're a nice. I feel like they're all just going to have a laugh with him, and it's
there'll be a bit of push and shove.
Oh yeah, but it's going to be like brotherly kind of like there's going to be an undertone of
we come back on the pod next week and someone's like King hit him or something.
It's just not going to happen.
No, it's not.
But the thing is that I'm thinking about is like surely Max and Grundy are having a good hard think about what they're up against this weekend.
Great ruck
and
combo.
if there's an opportunity for them to start gelling again, and then like this is the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
To say, okay, you left us for money. We don't need you.
No.
So, we're the statesmen of like the ruck game and have been for so long. An opportunity for us to stamp our authority still on the competition to say we're still the best to do it.
Do you know what's interesting about that point as well? If you actually look at Sean Darcy head-to-head with Max Gawn knows he's been the most dominant ruckman the last 6 or 7 years. So many people say that Sean Darcy's like heir to the throne. He's the next one who's just going to be completely dominant for best part of his career. So those two are going head-to-head with that mantle at stake, right? And Gawn, as you said, is trying to prove that he's still got it over the young boy. And then you've got the ruckman that we replaced Luke Jackson with coming up against Luke Jackson himself. And Grundy will want to prove a point. Grundy will want to be like, there's a reason why Melbourne got me into this side. He'll feel like he's an upgrade in himself. So I reckon we talk about it being like a combo versus a combo, but there's little battles within it as well individually. So I just think it's fascinating. It'll determine, it won't go the whole way to determining the result, but it'll have a big say on it, like a huge say. Because they're really good at the stoppages and scoring from stoppage at the moment.
Brayshaw's finally in form as well. Sarong has been awesome all year, but Brayshaw is kind of he's in that last year form at the moment.
It's a good midfield. And then they've got
even Dogger.
O'Meara.
Dogger started slowly, but he's come on.
Oh, he's simply come on.
Yeah. No, he's looking good. I want to talk about Clary because, of course, he's all our favourites and he is the GOAT. Disappointing that he's going to be out for what we think will be minimum 2. I think it's probably 3. It's going to be 24 days since he did the hammy before we play King's birthday. So it's a lot of time, and typically they are 21-day turnarounds. But we just don't know. Melbourne have been so coy on the injury. Like, no one's really told us what we want to hear yet. But
it's crazy.
I don't know. What's your gauge on it, Nug? I don't think they're going to play him for the next 3 rounds. I think he'll actually sit out King's birthday because we can't risk him for the rest of the season. That's my take on it, but I just don't know.
There's no rush in these. There's no rush in these days.
No. Do you think he misses King's birthday?
Not at this point. I don't know how bad his hammy is.
Well, no one knows.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know how to I would prefer him. Yeah, I don't know. Why
have they been kept us so in the dark, Nug? Do you think it's because they don't? Clayton Oliver's an ultimate professional. In the same way that Max Gawn is, and Max returned after only missing 3 games, we thought he was going to miss 6 rounds initially. Are they potentially not putting a time frame on it because it's the same premise? They're like, Clary's probably the same as Max. He's going to go through a brilliant recovery period because he's such a model professional, and he might get back earlier than they anticipate. Is that why they're doing that to us as supporters? Like, not telling us the truth? Or maybe they just don't know because of recovery?
We obviously have no idea.
Yeah.
So they haven't even come
We
out
have
and
no
said.
idea. I feel like I'm chunking a little bit. Sorry.
No, but so they haven't even come out and said, "Oh, it's a grade 1." Or
Nothing. We don't.
Yeah.
They've just said it's a hamstring strain, and we're not putting a timeline on it.
You
We'll see how he
almost think
recovers.
he's going to play this week.
Yeah, I'm thinking more he'll be back sooner rather than later if it's like
Like
that.
he'll miss just 1 week.
I
God, I just reckon the communication out the club is just baffling.
like obviously
It's just weird.
there's only one Clayton, and he's monumental in what he does and has done for so long. But
Yeah,
we've got some depth.
we do.
And I think it's more of like for us to perform and to start playing Dees footy, it's a mentality shift of like you just got to be ferocious. There's no like it doesn't matter if you're Nibbler or Cade or Clary, you just got to attack the contest like you just got to play berserk footy, and that's when we are at our best. And yes, we did that for a little bit against Port, but Port smashed us because they were doing that to us
for longer.
for so much longer.
Yeah,
For the first half, like we should have been down by 30 points at halftime.
yeah. Little purple patches aren't good enough. I think I said this on Monday's pod. Melbourne have to get better at sustaining effort.
Our backline's going to be mint, and they're starting to gel again.
They are.
And like May's starting to be our May that we
Yeah.
know and love.
Yeah.
I have no like qualms about our backline. The onus is on the small forwards and the brigade in the midfield.
Yeah.
Like, can you sustain that intense footy around the contest, the pressure? Because if we can't, we lose. Because I know that Freo are going to come.
Absolutely. Freo are going to bring heaps of
Yeah.
heat. Freo know that they can. They've had a really encouraging 3 weeks, so they've kept their season alive. They can light a fuse on their season, like ignite it out of control, and suddenly people are saying, "Shit, the Freo of 2022 are back." And they're on a roll, and they've just beaten a premiership fancy. So, like, this game for them, don't forget, they've got to bye the week after as well. So throw the kitchen sink.
Massive danger game.
Yeah,
Oh, it's scary.
yeah. How
It's
you
scary.
how are you feeling about it, Nug? You said it was an 80-20 yesterday in our favour. Is the ratio dropped a little bit?
No, I stand by that. If you look at whatever people are reporting, like everyone in the tips will be tipping Melbourne. I reckon 80% of people will be tipping Melbourne. So it's just they're super dangerous, especially them getting into form. Like they've beaten the 2 grand finalists in the last 2 weeks. I know they've both been pretty shit form this year, but still, it's a pretty big effort. And they beat us last year. It is the epitome of a danger game in my eyes. We can be comfortable thinking we're going to win, but I'm not going to be comfortable until.
Especially
Until we're up
given
by
the following couple of weeks in Carlton, who, yeah, they've been down, but you just know that they'll somehow just like flick the switch against us, and it'll be a game on Friday night, and then obviously King's birthday is sold out for a reason, but yeah, I see
1 week at a time.
Yeah, I know.
I'm trying to adopt that at the moment, not look too far ahead, just purely because of what I said before.
Yeah, you're right.
We need a pressure reliever. Like when you lose on the road in the manner that we did, it was a little bit heartbreaking. You look back at it, 4 points, like fuck, all these little moments that happened in the last quarter.
Butters.
Butters was incredible, and we were completely underestimating him on Thursday last week. But hey, whatever. That's what the pod's all about. A little bit of fun. But honestly, you get a bit of anxiety when you start to look at the ladder and you go, okay, 7-3, sitting 4th. If we really want to chase that top 2 position, these are the bankers. Like you have to win these games.
Yeah.
You don't finish top 2 if you don't win these games. And if we happen to go on and lose this match, then you start to get some serious anxiety around, fuck, now we've got to play a Carlton who are desperate. Season's still there for them because we're only halfway through. And then you start to roll through the idea that we could be the team that plays them back into some sense of form and they get on a roll. And you start to get demons. So that's why we need to put a fucking
1
fork
week
in
at a
it.
time.
1 week at a time.
We need to put a
Look, like,
fork in it and win
I'm
this
doing-
week.
But this year's
I'm
nuts.
doing-
This year's
I'm
absolutely nuts.
adopting 1 week at a time in my general life at the moment. Like we've got 2 family events at the footy in the next 2 weeks. We've got Reedy's Bucks, so shout out to Reedy this weekend,
Who's he go for?
and then he goes for the Dees.
Oh,
and
really?
his Bucks parties at the Dees, which is fantastic.
Oh, Amanda's brother.
And yes, that's right.
Yep.
And we've got the JSN the week after, but we're trying to organise things for the week after. But let's just focus on this week first, 1 week at a time.
So talk me through a Bucks at a footy game. Do you guys have like, you just going to standing bay, you're going to a bar, like what's going on here?
Look, I don't know what the plan is. But there's going to be a ringleader, and I'm sure he's just going to take us to different bars or a bar.
Yeah.
You're going to take it 1 hour at a time on the Bucks.
So Kingo,
1 quarter at a time.
will Kingo be there?
Oh, yeah.
Kingo will be there.
That's great.
Kingo. Shout out to Kingo. Great man. Can't wait to spend time with him in Oslo in July. That's going to be crazy. Yeah,
Wow.
It's going to be wild. I just want to talk about Freo's defence quickly as well. So, Brennan Cox, do you know how good he is?
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah, but
No. I'm sorry. If he played for a big Victorian club,
Yeah.
like,
yeah, but he doesn't.
But my point is, I just don't think he. I just don't think he gets the praise for how good he is.
So yeah, all my
You're with this. You get this.
well mainly because I watched Freo closely over the past few years
Yeah,
for
you know.
obvious reasons. And
How do we
yeah,
win?
At the start of the year, a lot of my Freo friends would say that Cox like should be making All Australian this year, and there'd be a lot of people that'd be like, "Who's Brendan Cox?"
Yeah.
Well, if you're a Demon supporter, you'll probably find that out this week.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. Luke Ryan did an awesome job on Jeremy Cameron last week as well.
Who's better out of him and Luke Ryan?
Oh, Brennan Cox.
Cox. Ryan in the
Well,
past,
Luke Ryan's
for
an
sure.
All-Australian.
Yeah, in the past, Ryan has been for sure, but I would say Cox is ahead of him.
Not so distant past. It was probably like a year
2
or
years ago.
I actually, I've looked at this.
2 years is a long time footy. So is a week. 1 week
Yeah,
is
no, Yeah, 1 year at a time.
I mean, I like Chapman. He's very young and he's still quite raw, but
Yeah, I think he was out last week, but Hayden Young's obviously got a superb
They've-
peg on him.
They've got that dogged defense, don't you think? Like
Exactly.
reminds me of like a Roosie defense or a Ross Lyon defense.
Yep.
Like really well set up with good role players. They don't like stand out. Like I was taking the piss before with Brendan Cox. He's a gun. Every time I watch them play, he seems to be like killing it.
it's the same
So
with their.
it's
Sorry,
a hard task.
sorry to cut you off there, Nug. I would say this.
good,
It's the
mate.
same with their forwards, right? So you've got these role players like Barfridge, Schultz, Sokowski, obviously Frederick,
Yeah.
and then Bailey Banfield, who I don't really rate, but he just always seems to bob up.
He does.
Well, if you remember last year, it was Barfridge and Frederick who destroyed us last year.
yeah, Frederick
Yeah.
was running right. The only weird thing about that game,
May went down in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah,
and it shook us.
exactly.
And we were up by 24 or maybe close
Nearly-
to 30 points.
yeah.
Like
We
and
were
that
so
was,
chill.
It was so chill. That was in the second quarter, like near the end.
Yeah.
And maybe they
Flat
got
line.
one late, and then it was just like they went bang, bang, bang.
Marca nailed it. Like losing Stephen May in that game completely threw us out. In the same way that it would throw out Freo if they happen to lose Brendan Cox, like as an example. In the same way that if Collingwood lost Darcy Moore in a game, they'd be in trouble. In the same way that if Geelong lost Tom Stewart, they'd be in trouble.
For
like
sure.
he's the linchpin down back. The other thing about that game as well, I know Frederick was running right and he was awesome, but Rivers looked tired, man. He was his direct opponent. He's gone to a whole new level this year. And I'm big on Riv Dog getting more time in the midfield, and I thought he was one of our best players last week again.
1 year at a time.
I reckon Riv Dog will see more minutes this week, which I'm really pleased about. I know we don't want to lose the GOAT, but we need to step the fuck up without Clary. The guy's been doing it for years.
100%.
He's been consistently our best in our top 3 best nearly every week for 5 years. I hope it'll galvanise us. You have made a great point about Petrarca in our thread, saying that you think he'll go to a whole new level because his buddy's not there in the middle. Couldn't agree with that more. Track's putting together an awesome year. Awesome year.
He's
And
best to date.
He is, and I reckon he'll see this as an awesome opportunity to try and put a huge stamp on the game.
And the bloke who got drafted next to him in Brayshaw, the Melbourne variety, I just think this is also another great opportunity for him to come into the midfield, which is what he got drafted as. Like, think I've said this before, like he's clearly been shifted and moved around, and what a versatile player, and he's been such an amazing role player for us in these different positions. But I just reckon he would be looking at that midfield as being like, I want that.
Yeah.
I want to get in there, and this is his opportunity to get more minutes alongside someone like a Riv Dog. And I think someone else who needs to come up a bit is Sparrow as well.
Yeah, because he should come back into the team. Teams will be out in about 10 minutes. You're right. Sparrow needs to come in.
Spaz Wang,
Spaz Wang, yeah.
Spaz
He's one of the
Wang's been
Wangs.
a bit disappointing for me this year.
Yeah,
Been a bit disappointing for me. We had very high expectations at the start of the season, and there was almost a lot of media around it. And I hope that he gets this opportunity with obviously the best player of all time out. He can just come in and just fucking and go at it and get his 25, kick a couple of goals, have a breakout game.
Yep, I agree, because Riv Dog's been the standout that's really stood up this year, I reckon. He's been the most...
He's been so fucking good.
So good.
Yeah, he's been nuts. Petrarca's been our best.
Top 5.
But Rivers would be biting at the bit and he would be right there.
Yeah, and it's huge for him because if he knows he's got added responsibility and he can continue to prove his wares, like I'm so into the idea of him getting more minutes in there, and he's proven that he can play the role really well. So I'm hoping that's the case. We've got a lot of flexibility because we have so many halfbacks in our team at the moment, and it'll probably still be the case when the teams come out. So that's a big one. I just want to draw your attention to the Lockie Hunter incident.
And the wingers, I guess. We can talk about the wingers.
Yeah, well, let's talk about the Lockie Hunter incident. And Lockie, I loved the way that he approached the tribunal hearing. He was a bit tongue-in-cheek at times. And he was on the money as well. He stood his ground with a few comments and said that Connor Rosie's approach to the ground ball was extremely dangerous because he literally just ran in with his head. And he's right. And then the other thing, when they posed a question to him and they said, you know, do you have any more time to answer questions? And he's like, mate, I've got nowhere else to be than the G on Saturday. It's like, keep asking him. So he's a bit cheeky. He's a bit of a smart ass, but they deserved it because I thought it was a football act. What's he meant to do in that scenario? I think one of the
Naughtsie, let me speak.
Yeah, take it.
Like that was, we've been seeing, we lost it at the JVR thing with the spoil a couple of weeks ago. Yes. Yeah. And he got off. But these sort of bumps to the head, regardless of him holding his ground, they've been getting reported for the last 10 years. So I'm not surprised at all that he got a week.
Why is so?
And I think
okay,
because they just got to protect the head. I get it. I get it. The AFL's getting sued by fucking all these old players.
But yeah,
so they've just got to do it.
On that nug, for me, after seeing it in real time, I was like, "Phew." And the thing is, we're talking real time. These players have
straight away
nanoseconds to kind of, you know, do what they have to do, and
he's contesting the ball, and the other guy runs in head first.
For me, it's the action. It's the brace and it's where his eyes were.
Yeah. But hang on, he could have, if he wanted to, he could have sped up, accelerated his speed, cleaned him up silly, and got 4 or 5 weeks instead. Once he knew that Connor Rosie was coming at him with his head down, he actually stopped. He stopped to brace for impact and to try and pick the ball up and contest the ball. The only thing I'll say, Nug, and your point's very valid as well. Like, you can look back, you can look at the other side of the coin and say, hey man, people have been getting rubbed out for years for this, and you're right. But what they said during the hearing was, he could have taken a step to either side and not contested the ball.
That's ridiculous.
Like, what the fuck is that? What is that?
Yeah, exactly.
We're asking way too much of the players.
But this time in this day and age, it's just there's a lot of stupid rules, and you just got to realize what they are. And like that's for me, I don't think like back in the day, 15 years ago, that would have been play on. It would have been fine, but it's not 15 years ago anymore. It's now, and that's just what people get rubbed out for.
Do you know what? I'm actually, we were talking about this a little bit.
I don't agree with it necessarily.
Yeah. But I'm also kind of fine that Hunter's not playing this week. I'm fine with that.
Jeez.
I haven't I'm sick of these underground handballs. Like I want some more ferociousness around the ball, and if that means someone like Taj comes in and gets his chance, I know that he's going to come in and go nuts. because it's
Yeah,
first
son
game
of.
kind of stuff.
It's son of.
But also like with Langdon, mate.
Turn it. He's got to turn the
You
heat up.
need to turn it on the G and make it your wing again, man. Like
It's
that was
his old
his
club.
thing.
It's his old club.
That was his own. Yeah.
He's coming up against old club. The other weird thing with Langdon as well is we tend to go down Hunter's wing all the time when we're attacking. Let's start going down Eddie's. Come on. Let's go down his wing and make ourselves more unpredictable. Because sometimes when we attack, we take the same avenue every time.
Langdon's still running berserk, and what he does in terms of like always being there is just like
and offering an option.
Nuts. Like it's amazing. But like considering where he was last year, I would love him to just get a nice little 21 touch game, 1 goal kind of thing.
I'm just going to finish on this point now.
Yep.
More people that run in with their head down the way that Connor Rozee did someone's going to break their fucking neck. It is a stupid way to play the game. We all played the game for.
Are you saying it was stupid from
100%?
I played on Sunday.
He was
to Miami.
I thought it was good from Connor Rozee, to be honest.
What, to run down with his head down the way that he ran and leant in? Nah.
You got to put your head over the ball. That's what you get. That's what you get taught when you were growing up.
The ball wasn't even there to be got, and he just left it with his head. Anyway. Go and watch it back.
It was wet as well. He might have slipped. But anyway, let's move on.
One week at a time. One week at a time.
One week at a time. That was last week. Let's talk about this week.
Okay, so this week, Freo have won 8 games out of 17 at the MCG. They've got a percentage of 100.55. I dug this one up. So the one thing I'll say on that, which is kind of funny, is yes, they've nearly won half the amount of games that we've played at them at the home of footy. But, I mean, how many times would have they beaten us when they had Ross Lyon and we were turgid? Or we were awful?
Yeah, absolutely.
How many times?
Turgid.
Heaps.
No, that's the wrong word. Awful. When we were awful, how many times would have they beaten us? Like, I reckon they would have racked up probably 6 of those 8 wins during those dark years.
Let's go back to turgid, because that's one of your words that you use a bit, isn't it? Can you explain?
No, I think it's wrong. I think someone pulled me up and sent me a message and said that's actually wrong.
Yeah, well, I'm pulling you up right now, brother.
Well, I'm putting a line through it. I'm still actually recovering from Adelaide, which is terrifying news.
I only came good yesterday.
Yeah, God, it was it was good.
It was very fun.
Oh, I couldn't have had more fun. It was great when you left the pub at 7 p.m. Anyway, so, first round draft pick, everything that comes with it. I reckon the crowd, the Melbourne supporters will be really up for it. Oh, Derek's got it up on the screen. So turgid is swollen or congested. Yeah, it's wrong use. It's absolutely wrong use. I'm going to bin that from my podcast.
Well, if you're talking about Ross Lyon's
about
game
the
plan,
use.
then you could use it.
Yeah, it's definitely wrong use. Thank you, Derek. I just wanted to talk about just the sense of this game for Melbourne supporters. So I've spoken about this before. I reckon when we played Sydney, because they'd beaten us so many times, I reckon the Melbourne crowd were really up and about. Like you could feel it. There was a lot of heat around the ground, and Melbourne supporters were baying for blood because we're like, can we finally beat these pricks? Because they always beat us.
Finally beat Buddy.
I'm hoping it's a similar case on Saturday and people understand just how important this game is potentially for the rest of our season. Because, and I know it's 1 week at a time, but I wanted to make this point tonight. We went into the bye with 3 losses in a row last year. So we'd gone the 10-0, and then it started to unravel a bit. You lose to Freo, Sydney, and Collingwood. We have a chance, and fuck 1 week at a time, to beat Freo.
Huge.
To beat Carlton, and then to do something that we've rarely done in recent times, and that's beat the best team in the comp at the moment on King's birthday in front of 90,000, and we can go into the bye with 3 wins in a row as opposed to the 3 losses last year.
That'd be cool.
And I've just got a feeling that if we are able to do that, it's so flaggy. And I really want us to be able to pull this one out of the fire, the next one, and then go in underdogs on King's birthday, give it a red-hot shake, get the 4 points. Suddenly, we're in this amazing position when we go into the bye. So the opportunity and the narrative has changed a lot from last year? Because last year we were cruising. We thought it was an imminent flag, and it wasn't. But
I'm just coming back to 1 week at a time.
Oh,
You skipped it.
I just wanted to
skip a few again.
I just wanted to talk about the three losses, and then anyway, yeah, no worries. 1 week at a time.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, I feel you.
You agree with that though?
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. But like it's the whole year is like this year's nuts.
Yeah.
Like the margins are so fine. Like imagine the last round, what it's all going to come down to, and so much will change in that last round. I feel like, and it will dictate so many different things. And you come back to 1 week at a time, and you just got to focus on what's ahead. But I feel ya. But that's at the back of everyone's mind. King's birthday especially. But like, what's the weather doing? Are we going to get another weird rainfall where it's just...
Nah, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be, I think, 15 and really chilly.
Oh, cool! Look, it's been really hot over there.
I think we've discovered that it's impossible to live by 1 week at a time. Like we've been chatting for 20 minutes, and it's so hard. It's so hard because right now in the AFL, teams are still feeling each other out, and so we have no idea what's going to happen in the next 3 weeks, the next 2 months, what's going to happen for the rest of the season, who's going to come good. So, yeah, I'm trying my hardest to live 1 week at a time, but it's just not going to happen, is it?
Yeah, we're struggling.
It's just such an important 3 weeks. It's so hard to not look ahead.
It's huge.
Are the team's almost out?
Yeah, they're out. So no Taj by Woden. So the mail was wrong, and that was getting pushed by everyone, which was interesting.
Respect.
In is Tommy Sparrow, as expected. James Harms gets his opportunity.
Do you reckon he'll do a run with Roll?
I would love that. I'm not going to say 100%, but I would love.
Yeah, same.
Love that. Andy Brayshaw.
Has to be.
Yeah, it's Sparrow and Harms. The GOAT goes out. Hunter suspended. Marcus' favourite.
So yeah.
And Jimmy Jordan goes out again as sub.
Oh, JJ out of the sub.
Fucking hell. Like every single week.
Oh, God.
He's going to leave.
I've got this theory. I've got a theory about him. I've got a theory. I would like to say.
Is this 1 week at a time, or are you going to go into the future?
No. I've got a theory about James Jordan. I just reckon they clearly know that he's going to go, and they're just whipping him every week, and he's just clearly the coach's whipping boy. And they may as well just do it to the one player rather than get the rest of the team upset as well.
I don't know.
All eggs in one basket. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, just keep dropping him. Keep bringing him back in as the sub, and then keep dropping him the next week.
Yep. So obviously Nam and Wally up, and Freo Michael Walters is out. So that's
good.
That's a plus. I think we've got to take that. And the sub must have stayed in, so they haven't brought anyone else into the team. So emergencies for us, just while we're at it. Joel Smith, who's getting closer apparently. Taj Woden, Jimmy Jordan, who will be the sub, you'd probably expect. And little Bill Laurie as well is the sub. So I'm happy that Jake Bowie gets up.
Yeah, same.
And I'm really excited about what Hibbo can potentially do on a Schultz or a Frederick. Schultz has got a weird record where if he kicks 3 goals or more, they never lose.
Yeah.
And 2...
He's their barometer.
2+, it's something staggering like 19-3.
Yeah.
So keep him quiet, pig.
He's the bar fridge.
What else? Who else are their forwards?
Well, they rotate. Well, Jai Miss has been going pretty well. He's a young bloke that's coming on. And the other one is, I think it's Tracy.
Yeah.
Who plays up forward, who can play. He's a decent player. I think defense.
They're their key forward.
Swikowski.
Is this where we get confident?
We did this last week. We said, Marks was out, Dixon's out.
Georgiadis is out, Rioli's out.
Where's the gun forward? I can't.
They work well as a unit. Let's be respectful.
A miss?
No, they've got a good defensive setup.
Oh, Nug.
Yeah, we've got a better defensive setup.
Yeah, Nug, a miss, gun forward.
Yeah.
Can play.
But obviously very young, coming up against a May who's starting to find form.
Yeah.
Or a lever.
We do miss Petty, though.
Or a pig.
We do miss Petty.
But the other
he was playing back.
On the flip of that, our forwards aren't setting the world alight.
I'm so happy that Marcus. I'm so happy that Marcus said that in the thread. I reckon it's Spargo, Neil Bullen, Pickett, Fritsch, the smaller medium brigade. Chandler, who's been a bit down last couple of weeks, they get going the way that they did earlier in the season. They apply pressure and they start binning goals. We can't. I almost think you can't lose.
Yeah.
If they all collectively perform on the weekend,
we beat most teams if they play well.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we always know at the very least we should have midfield battles.
Yeah.
Should have. I reckon we'll at least have the midfield battle this week because players will know, well, Clary's not here. We're going to have to step up a little bit and do it without him. So I reckon you're right.
Massive game for Harms. Welcome back in, mate, but gee.
What's the job? Is the job just go straight to Andy
I reckon
Brayshaw?
you just sit him on Brayshaw the whole game.
And if Sarong gets off the chain, he just swaps.
Or you just cop it. Almost.
Do they do that though? I don't think anyone does that anymore.
Harms is the only bloke that I've really noticed in the past few years that has done run with roles.
Yeah, and he's done them well.
Yeah.
Really well. There's probably a plan for him to do that because they're pretty damaging players. I think the other player that I'm putting some heat on, and he normally responds, especially when one of our gun players is out, is Jack Viney. He's got a proven track record when we're a star down.
Yeah.
Of coming out and
That's
performing.
a great call.
So I reckon he's another one that'll step up and have a big game. We might end up going down Eddie Langdon's wing a little bit more because I'm trying to think, do we put Salem on the wing? We can. We've got the flexibility with Chris in the back line.
Yeah. I mean, he can play anywhere, that guy.
Yeah, but do we just plonk him on the left wing and just tell him... I've always advocated for him on the left wing and it never happens. He always plays at half back, but... Is that an option we can exploit? Because I don't reckon Freo would see that coming. I reckon Freo would just think, Melbourne will stick to their guns and put him on the half-back flank like they do every week. Could we do that?
I think it's more about if he goes to the wing, who can be more effective in what position, if that makes sense. So say he goes to a wing, can people cover his role as well in the back line? But if he stays half-back, can someone kind of their output be as good as him on the wing? So you look at a Rivers, the way he's going, wouldn't mind him to play up a bit more, but
like a high half forward role.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I'm with you because I reckon we've spoken before quite a bit about Salem and how he could play. He could play anywhere.
Yeah.
But I think where he's played his best footy is clearly down back because it's where he's played most of it.
It's got me a little randy then, Marco, with the idea of Ripdog going forward.
Yeah.
Got you a bit randy. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Well, I reckon he's someone that
He
could
is.
just kind of play in so many different positions. He's got all the attributes.
And if you remember if you go back to the bubble back in 2020, he kicked a winning goal for us. He kicked a couple of goals as a forward. So he might have it in him.
Yeah, he could definitely have it in him. I don't mind that shout at all.
No, I don't think it's going to happen this week. Let's be real.
No, because
God no.
No.
It's a good, exciting option.
1 week at a time.
Because Goody
One
never.
week at a time.
Yeah. That's it, brother.
Goody never does anything differently.
Whoa.
Well, in a game he doesn't.
Oh, backtrack. Beep, 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 beep.
One interesting thing. This was pointed out from a loyal listener. So Matt,
No.
I'm going to stuff this up. Quattrocchi. I hope I got that right. Quattrocchi? You're Italian. Can you read this out?
You didn't get it right.
Can you read that name out and read it out with a bit of Italian twang?
Patocchi ham, is it?
Quattrocchi? Quattrocchi.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, I got it. I fucking got it. No, I just said it in a really Aussie way, of course. So he went through a range of different stats and sent them through. So goal scoring accuracy, we know we're number one. Intercept possessions, we dominate. We're number one. So that's clicking. This is random. Couldn't believe this. Centre clearances, we're third.
Really?
Third. Yeah, remarkable. Brisbane are first. Contested possessions, we're second, only behind St Kilda. Turnovers were 16th, so that's actually a good thing, right? So you want to be 18th. Is that how it works? It goes the opposite way? Anyway, I'm just thinking about it in my head.
No idea.
Is that we're turning over or
I don't know.
or getting possession from turnover?
I should have ignored that one.
No, that means we're turning it over more than...
Yeah, surely.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm going to say that's a bad thing.
I'm going to say it's the opposite, but I think our loyal listener Matt can confirm that. This is where everyone is spot on about our key forward predicament. So these are the two stats I wanted to speak about. Contested marks, we're 16th. And marks on the lead inside 50, we're 13th. Everyone goes, oh, Melbourne's Achilles heel is they haven't figured out their key forward scenario.
We never will.
But the weird thing is we've scored the most.
Yeah.
Yet, if we were able to get more marks inside 50, and this is why I reckon
But that's because we consistently have 10-plus goal kickers.
Yeah. And we play a rebound game. We want to score on turnover. That's why we've got the one player down at
we have
stoppage.
so many different players that can damage.
Could you imagine, though? Could you imagine if we ended up making...
Yeah, we're flag.
If we ended up improving that stat over time for the rest of the season, like suddenly you're looking pretty good because contested marks are a couple of things. They're shots at goals and they're relieving pressure down the line.
Well, the main reason that has fallen for me is Gawn. I feel like and that's because he's been out of the team a little bit and
the injury.
There's a slight form slump and we're not seeing the Gawn that we have. I have no doubt that he's going to get back there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, how many contested marks does he usually take?
He took 6 on his return, which is just berserk. You're lucky to take 2 in a game, let alone 6.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's had the most contested marks in the comp for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Or so.
It's crazy. It's stupid numbers. But the point being, so Tom McDonald, Jacob Van Rooyen, Roo's a little bit down. T-Mac keeps doing his thing that Marca hates. Explain to the listeners. He does it every time.
So, I'm sure I'm not the only one that's noticed this, but T-Mac, for some reason...
Oh!
You got to back him up?
Yeah, because I was sitting with his mum last week and she was just lovely.
Okay. Well,
What's her name?
Tell T-Mac's mum to tell him not to try and take on 2 players when he picks the ball off the deck and just handball it to the first option instead of getting pinged, holding the ball every single goddamn time.
Can you do that? Can you tell T-Mac's mum, please?
I will next time I see her.
Thank you. At Adelaide Oval.
Yeah. But he kicked a goal in the last quarter to get us back in front.
No doubt. I saw it. It was a great
and
goal.
We were very excited.
He's kicked some big goals in his time.
You and Jackie Trengrove? Yeah.
Yes, he was there as well. Actually, no, he flaked it for the last quarter.
It was Trengove or Grove? It was Gove, wasn't it?
Gove.
No. How was it sitting?
He's a really nice guy.
Oh, that's great to know. How was it sitting amongst everyone?
Yeah, it was good. It was great. It was pissing down in rain, so the people who were really keen to actually sit out there and watch stood around and sat around. But yeah, Trengove's obviously didn't work out that well for him as a captain, and he didn't like the rain, so he left. And T-Mac's mum hang around, so that's why I have a lot of respect for her.
So he left when it started to rain. So
yeah, he wasn't there in the second half.
Half skip and half-hearted.
Might have been as he fanboying though.
Oh, was he?
Jack Grimes was the better Grimes in my opinion.
I thought Jack Grimes was going to have the biggest career.
I thought I was like, oh, we've got another Corey N right here.
I had such high hopes for him.
Same.
I used to wax lyrical about him to everyone. I was telling like Geelong mates about this kid. I was like, mate, this kid, he's something special.
That was a different era. Like, one era at a time.
So dark.
Oh, so dark. So bloody dark.
That was not a 1 week at a time era. That was... Is the draft looking good this year?
Is the draft looking good this year? I'm going to draw your attention to... I'm jumping on the Purple Rain, which is the Fremantle version of this.
The Purple Rain.
The Purple Rain.
Wow, what a shocking name.
Yeah, well...
I mean, ours is a bit whatever, but that's...
Yeah, ours is just obvious. It's like, what else are you going to call it?
DeeBrief sucked.
Yeah. What else are you going to call it? What would you call it? Come on, rattle off a few.
Destroyed. Demolished.
That's terrible.
D get fucked.
D get fucked.
D1s.
D-Wangs?
D-Wangs.
Maybe D-Wangs.
D-Wangs. D-Wangs. That's it. There's the answer right there.
If we win the flag this year, I'll permanently change the name. On every social account, podcast account, I'll change the name.
Heard to hear first.
Yeah, why not? And then I'll change it back after a month. So I'm doing a podcast with them later, and they're good. They're ripping blokes. They love their club.
They're calling you up and
yeah, we're just gonna have a chat and
Yeah.
just talk through a few things, and they've sent through a bit of a run sheet. So they went through and they figured out every single. Well, they went through. They probably Googled it. Every player that's played for Melbourne and Freo. Listen to some of these names. Phil Gilbert, don't know who he is, but Scotty Chisholm. Do you remember Scotty Chisholm?
Yeah.
Good player.
Yeah.
Good player. Jeff White, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal. Kalani, 2 years. We'll get him on the pod to talk about Kalani, I reckon.
Okay.
Can I reel off a couple myself?
No. Troy Longmuir. Troy Longmuir.
I like this game.
The Wiz. And then you rattle some off.
Yep. Jesse Hogan.
Yep.
Cole Sylvia.
Cole. Yep. Got him. Well done. Who
Fuck, I
else?
forgot about that.
Come on. There's a few more. There's one that.
Dogger, obviously.
Oh, there's someone that with last name starts with B.
Harley Ballack.
Harley Ballack.
That's another one.
Yeah. Harley Bennell.
Yes. Well done. Jesse, you've said him. Viv Mitchie.
Viv Mitchie.
Viv Mitchie.
Viv.
Yeah. And then, of course, Ed Langton.
Yes.
And that's it. And they said, who's your favourite out of all these players that have played for both clubs?
So easy.
That is
Dogger.
No, it's Jeff.
It's obviously Jeff.
Well, is Jeff a premiership player for the Dees?
No, but he's my favourite player.
What are you talking about?
He's my favourite player of all
well,
time.
Fair enough. I'm allowed to have my opinion too, brother.
Yep, you can have it, mate. 1 week at a time.
Look at this. And then this is a question.
One opinion at a time.
One opinion at a time, one player at a time.
This is a question on the show in the run sheet. Will the players get stuck into Dogger Jackson? They call him Dogger. We called him Dogger. You can't steal his nickname.
Yeah, what else are they going to call him? Purple Dog?
Purple Rain. And then...
That's almost mint.
No, I don't mind it.
Yeah, Purple Dog's pretty cool, actually.
And then they said
you should bring that up.
Yeah.
You should definitely bring it up and say you should
call him the Purple Dog. All right. Yeah. I'll
BD.
Call him BD. They also said they want to know about a few lesser known players, and they've gone E.G., McVee, and Chandler.
Okay.
So they want me to talk about them. So yeah, I'll just talk about how.
Tell him to get fucked.
No, it'll be good.
You should ask about their lesser known players as well, and then bring up Cox. Be like, yeah, who is this Cox guy?
Yeah, I'm going to really play that card. And then they'll just get really irate quickly, being like, how do you not know him? Taking it seriously. I might talk to them about the Chris McVee story. Maybe bring that one up. JVR.
For the listeners, what's the Chris McVee story?
Nah, we won't go into it. We'll tell everyone when we've won a flag.
One story at a time.
And we'll get him in. We'll get him into the studio. We'll get him into the studio and get him to legally change his name. That's what we'll do when we've won the flag.
There's a lot of things to do.
We'll get him in a vulnerable point.
We'll forget everything when we stay up for a week.
Yeah, exactly. JVR. Last point, and then we'll wrap. We'll do our predictions. Are we a little bit concerned that he's starting to wane? A lot of pressure on his shoulders. He's been a bit down. Or are we just going to continue to back him in?
I know that... Gee, there was a big bubble in my throat then. I just reckon his attack on the ball has just been consistent throughout.
Yep.
And I just reckon the coaches just love him for that.
Yeah.
And I love him for that. And I'm going to back him in. Last week simply was not a...
Love that.
Yeah, those free kicks were poor. Those free kicks were poor. But he'll learn from that. And you know, they were sloppy, but they weren't the defining things for the game. Probably were. Anyway...
We couldn't blame him, though.
Yeah, you know, it just wasn't a night for key forwards last week. But, you know, I just think we have to bank games into them because we've seen in the past if you don't, then you get a Wiedemann. You know what I mean? Their confidence drops. They're back in the twos.
Sure.
Yeah, I love the way the kid goes about it. He keeps playing for mine. He would have to play He would have to play a really bad game to get dropped this week.
Yep. And he's not dropped. He's playing. But are you a little bit concerned, Nuggie? It's a long season. We've got to rest him at some point.
I'm very, very much going to reiterate what Mark has just said. I feel like he has a sound opinion in general. But I do love him. I think his attack on the ball is so great, and I'd rather him play out the whole season over the other two options. I'm not going to name them, but
Joel Smith.
I just think, obviously he slipped up. Yeah, Yeah, imagine if he got dropped for Joel Smith. That'd fucking kill you. But like I would like to see him be. I feel like even though he slipped up last week, he's getting a game this week because I was worried that he was going to get dropped, and I'm happy that they're backing him in. And he's got heaps of potential. We can see it. We can all see it. He's already been a match winner. He's won us a game. So I think we've got to stick it out with him, especially because being a young forward, like young key forward in this day and age it's crazy hard. So you can have bad games. Even like the old key forwards having bad games. So I think we got to stick with him.
Yeah, and for me, it's T-Mac and Brown are fighting for that spot.
Yeah, T-Mac.
Yeah, the extra spot.
Big for T-Mac this week again because it was, I would say, slightly encouraging that he kicked 2 goals.
For sure. In those conditions, and in that first quarter, he got his hands. He was really close to taking a couple of big grabs.
Big week for him.
And it was, as you said, it was very wet, very wet. So I'm backing T-Mac in now, especially after meeting his mum. Can't remember her name, but she's lovely. And I don't know, you said this was the last question before we wrap up. I'm happy to keep talking.
Yeah, it was great to see people just rolling down the hill in the mud on Friday
people
night.
just doing belly slides.
People just embraced it. Yeah.
Were they?
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
That's sick.
It was great fun. The Power fans were lovely to us.
Interesting,
Lovely.
because I've only
No
ever
issues.
heard that they're quite, full on and
Great,
passionate, but
great banter. Well, I was standing
I
next to
think,
2 of them the whole game almost. They're great.
Yeah, I think all Adelaide fans in general vary for me. I like their fans in general.
But weird thing. I reckon it happened about. I think we told you this at the pub on Saturday. Happened to us about 6 times minimum, probably more. People were like having conversations with people going into the ground and in the ground, and people would go, "Oh no, I don't go for Port. I go for Brisbane." And they're like wearing scarves and beanies, and then this guy goes, "Oh no,
People were having conversations with people.
I don't go for Port either. I go for West Coast."
But they were wearing Port stuff.
Wearing paraphernalia. It happened so many times to the point where we were like,
No.
It happened heaps, man. It was weird.
They don't sound like supporters to me.
Do you know John
Well, they're in
Donohoe?
GA.
Do you know John Donohoe?
Who's that?
John Donohoe, he's on SEN these days.
It was really
I think
random.
SEN. But he's a big St Kilda supporter, and he was there with a Dees scarf on.
Oh, what? Sacrilege. You can't do this.
What are people doing?
See, I don't even
heaps.
like.
It's illegal.
I don't even like when people wear their colours to a game and their team's not playing.
Yeah, it
For
shits
me, that sucks.
Those people need to be burnt at the
Oh,
cross.
they fucking
It shits
suck,
me when
man.
I see this bloke at the park at
too
the
much?
moment. I go to the park, same park nearly every day with my dog, and this bloke wears his Collingwood beanie every single time he's at the park. And I'd had to ask him the question the other day and just be a bit of a prick. And I was like, "It's your flag, isn't it?" And he was like, "Oh no, it's too early. It's too early. I just want to unruffle him because he's just wearing it around with pride." And it was fucking shitting me.
Yeah.
So-
See, that's jealousy creeping in. That's not so much he shouldn't be doing that.
No, I know.
But
I had to ask him.
I would be
tell him.
I would be interested to know if he has been that consistent in other years.
Yes, because I'm seeing Collingwood paraphernalia everywhere at the moment.
You should see some of
You're right.
the looks that I get down in Geelong now.
With
'Cause
Dees.
Obviously, I'm not in the studio. Yeah, because I walk the dog every day. I'm wearing Dees shit,
Yeah.
and I get some bad looks. They are not happy.
That's great. They don't like us.
Sometimes get tooted and shit. I was walking down the local park the other day, and there was a cop chase. Like kids were getting chased by cops. The place is fucked.
What are you talking about?
I'm just saying.
That's a nice
Geelong's
little
crook,
segue.
Yeah, that was great.
mate. Yeah.
Nah,
I'm happy to keep talking.
One
guys.
story at a time. One story at a time.
Nah,
Yeah.
nah, I think I'm done. It's been a big week. I'm still recovering from Adelaide.
Nah,
Was there
I think
anything?
we should keep going.
Was there anything?
What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, what do you want to talk about? It's on you.
Oh, life. I'm going to Baby Bunting on Sunday.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Getting
yeah.
a pram.
Getting a pram?
I don't know. So what should we get?
A Vista.
Naughty?
You get
a Vista. What's a Vista?
It's like a primo pram. It's like a rangy of prams.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like real
okay.
upmarket. And you're a Melbourne supporter, so it fits the mold. So get it.
Yeah,
It's like a
well,
Jag.
Just get a
sounds good.
trolley and kind of fix some things off yourself, like put in a couple of cushions.
Prams are amazing. There's so much stuff you can put in them. Like,
Can I have
yes.
yours?
They're also like a few grand.
Oh, I know. I'm very aware. What else do you need? You need so many things. You need clothes. You
Yeah,
need
give us some stuff.
nappies.
cot.
You need a cot.
Cot's pretty important.
You need wet wipes.
A
Well,
teething toy.
Surely Harry's walking now. I can take one of the cots or his cot.
No, he sleeps in his cot, we expanded it to a bed.
Well,
So-
put him in the bed and I'll take the cot.
You're not taking the cot. We need it. There'll be another one on the way at some point. So, not yet.
Oh,
Not yet.
okay.
One at a time, one baby. At a time.
One bed.
Yeah, one baby at a time.
What's the due date? September, isn't it? For Wheezy?
Yeah, it's actually due date is week 1 of the finals, so
Whoa!
bit worrying. Yeah.
Yeah. Get you to the granny. Get you to.
Oh, I'll go to every final.
Of course. Even when Melbourne are playing that night,
Mm.
not in the hospital at the G.
1 week at a time, boys. Come on, I'm being serious now.
Yeah, 1 week at a time.
Yep. Yeah, we're really pushing
We
on that.
have to win this game.
Oh, I want to win this game.
I can't.
What?
I'm actually really happy it's Saturday, 2:00. I'm sick of these Friday night, Saturday night
I'm-
games.
Yes.
Very
yeah.
Loving the
Yes.
daytime. Loving it.
I hate day games. I hate night games. Sorry.
was like, what?
I'm so happy with this new fixture that we've got 5 with the end of this season. 5 Sunday games.
Yeah.
That is
5?
perfect.
And the AFL
it's
finally,
perfect.
the
perfect.
AFL have realised they're like, oh, okay, these fans don't really show up on a Saturday night game. Let's just send
Yeah.
them on a Sunday, which is what we know and what we like.
We're playing Brisbane on a Sunday at 1:10.
Perfect.
And that could potentially be a top 4 clash.
We're not.
And it's
You're
not
wrong.
it's not going to be on free to wear, and I'm going to fucking be there, and it'll be fantastic.
We're not
Yeah,
playing. We're
100%.
not playing Brisbane. We're playing.
We're playing
We're
Brisbane.
playing them on a Friday night. Guarantee it.
No, I'm telling you, we're playing them on
Oh,
a
get it up.
Sunday
Who's wrong?
1:10.
Friday. There it is. Friday, July 14th.
Oh fuck!
We're playing North Melbourne on a Sunday at 1:10.
Oh, that's heaven. Go North.
Go North.
Well, I reneged my comments, and I'm clearly wrong.
Clearly wrong. No,
You
I'm
said it with vigor, though. I was convinced.
Yeah,
I know. I thought I saw it. I swear, I thought I saw it.
that's okay. You didn't. You didn't. Don't go and look up where you think you saw it.
I'm looking it up.
Because it's just not true. I am quite content about the Sundays at 3:20, even though some people haven't been. Some people wanted the Saturday nights, the Friday nights. Like the Friday nights, yeah, like they're great. But I actually like the idea of watching a few other teams before they get to us. I don't mind sitting back and then waiting our turn. And Sunday Arvos are so quintessentially Melbourne. Marca hit the nail on the head. Like, that's our slot.
At the G.
We know it well.
110 between 240.
We know it.
Just send us to where we know.
I've just sent you the Google fixture, and the Google fixture tells me that it's on Sunday 1:10.
So Google stuffed ya.
Google's fucked me.
Google has stuffed ya.
I was really excited about that as well. Friday night, fuck that.
Nah, Fridays are pretty fantastic.
Yeah, a bit scary though.
No, they're not when you live down the coast, mate.
Especially if it's like it's really set. Like when we lost to Port, I was like, oh, it's a weekend ruiner.
True. You got to win them. Sets up the whole weekend.
It's stress-free weekend. You chill. It's fine. When you lose, you're like, oh.
Monday, if you lose on a Sunday,
I
you
don't
can
really
hide.
feel like watching other games as much if we lose on like a Friday night. I'm just like, I don't care whatever happens. Footy's not important. Whatever. This sucks.
I don't
But
think
then you sort of get over it by the Sunday, and you don't wallow. Too
Yeah,
much
then you
Saturday
realise you got
week.
nothing
Work.
else to do in your life, and you're like, I may as well watch footy.
Oh, it's Collingwood Carlton.
May as well tune into fucking Hawthorn West Coast.
It's sick. Exactly. I was exactly the same. We're gonna have to actually wrap, but before we do predictions, just quickly. Am I starting? I always start, don't I?
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be a red hot game.
Has anyone said we're gonna lose this year
We're
yet?
never saying we're gonna lose.
That's so sick.
I reckon Nuggets will say it against Collingwood. I got a feeling he'll say we.
1 week
One
at
week
a
at a time,
time,
mate.
man.
Sorry.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry.
1 Why are we doing predictions for Collingwood? We're doing predictions for Freo right now.
What the hell?
Okay.
Literally right now.
It's a big game. I reckon it's going to be red hot. It's going to be very physical. It's going to be a bit of argy-bargy. There's going to be a few dickheads in the stands booing Luke Jackson. That'll subside as the game goes on. Players will focus.
Or intensify.
Who knows? And I reckon it's going to be an absolute struggle. I'm calling like a bit of a nail-biter, bit of a thriller, heart-stopper, which it'll hurt at the time, but it'll be awesome when we just get over the line. I reckon we're going to win by like 8 points.
Okay.
It's going to be really close, like all game.
Okay.
And I got a feeling we might be slightly down at 3/4 time. We'll run over the top, which is a great way to win.
Yeah, I mean, that'll be cool.
A great way to win. I got a feeling
that.
we might be down by like a goal or something at 3/4, and then we come over the top and like Track puts his imprint on the game with Bog performance. That's mine.
Nice. I'll pick up your Track comment and run with that,
Cool.
as I also think that it's just such a great opportunity for him to not just make his stance on the game, but on his stance on the competition as being the informed player in the comp alongside your Darcy Moores, and Cameron's been a little bit down, but
True.
I just think he's just in mental form. I am confident only because of the way we have responded in the past. Can't remember the last time we lost 2 games in a row, apart from last year kind of thing. It's just one of those things that when we do lose, historically, we're really good at just responding.
G factor.
The G factor this year, we've been on it. That's a great point. I can't believe we haven't talked about that yet. Better late than never. With that being said, I feel like it's going to be tight. I agree with you on that. But we'll kick away and it will be a 19-point win.
I like it. Peter Vardy's number. Nugget Wayne.
Peter Vardy. So my prediction is get to the G a little bit full after the start of a Bucks party.
Yes.
I predict that Luke Jackson will kick the first goal of the game.
He will kick the first goal.
Yes.
That's
Wow.
big.
And I will applaud. And then I think it's going to be really. It's like it. This is when was the last time we didn't have Clary in the team? I know he might have missed a week.
Last year after the Geelong game, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
With his hand.
Not that long ago. Great.
Spot on.
But yeah, it just rattles me that he's out, and I'm worried. I think it's going to be a very, very close game. I think it'll be up against it. I think Sarong and Brayshaw will be good for them. But we've got our own Brayshaw and we've got Petrarca, and we're going to be fighting to the end of the game.
Love
and
that.
then I think we'll be up by a couple points with maybe 30 seconds left, and we'll get bombed in to Freo's forward line, and Dog will take a mark, and Dog will kick a goal after the siren. We'll lose by 4 points.
Oh,
Huge.
Yeah.
I can't believe you.
He
It's
loves
the
Dog.
First and last goal of the game.
So it'd be like a whiz moment.
Yeah, which would be heartbreaking because it's been done before. As you said, Wiz did that. That was the first game against
Been
the
done
Dees
before.
back
Been
in-
done
Is
before.
he serious?
Been done before.
Did he just do that?
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to jinx it, to be honest. But
Yeah, you did well at jinxing it in 2021. Remember?
Yeah. So I was trying to bring that back.
Yeah, get back
But,
on the jinx train, man.
I'm saying we're going to lose by less than a goal.
Okay.
After the siren.
He did that every week for the first 6 weeks, and then he finally switched in the North game round 7.
No, I switched and then we lost.
No, he actually switched after 9-0, and then he said we're going to smash Adelaide, and we lost by a point.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
It was your fault. A lot of people wrote in saying "fuck Nuggets."
Yeah.
So that was
Well,
pretty.
I'm going to go back to that. I'm like, Adzi's traditional. Like, if Adzi was here right now, he'd be saying, "Look, Dogger sucks.
True.
Right, Freo's a good team, but yeah, maybe 147 points."
It was 180 last week.
Dogger sucks. That reminds.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I said 80
That
as
reminds
well.
140, 180 in a top 4 clash.
me. Yeah. God, we were so.
Away
from
as
home.
well. Away.
This is the most respectful we've been to an opposition club in a long time. Can we cue something up? Can we cue it up? I've got a little present here. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, just wait for it. It'll come. I hope Nugwang can hear it.
Nugwang will have to mute him because it's the same.
Yeah, I'll mute myself.
Yeah, Nugwang's going to mute himself and then he can hear it, apparently.
And shout out to
Oh, we're going back.
Can you hear it?
We're going back.
He can't hear it.
Can you hear me? Oh, yeah, he can hear it.
He's got it. Yes, he can hear it. Nugwang.
There's a battle war on the turf.
He's really sending it.
Here comes the army, here comes the noise. Raise up the banner, raise up your voice. Here come the days. Here come the days. Squadron of heroes set to take flight. Troops
Come on, Dees. Fucking hell, man. We need to win this.
Far up.
Come on.
Far
No,
up.
Clary. Come on, Sparrow. Here come the Deer. Here we fucking go. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Here comes the motherfucking Dees. Come on, Dees.
Go, Dees.
210, Saturday Arvo.
Nugwang, you like that? You like that, mate?
I loved it. I loved it. Why was I muted?
I think it was the only way you could hear it.
Mm.
And you were going nuts and you
well.
would have ruined it.
I have to go enough here.
Loved
Cool.
loved
was
watching
training.
your reactions, though.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
That was good to have it back. All right, we're out. Go, Dees. Get
See
it
you on
done.
Saturday.
Huge game.
Fucking
Huge
days.
game.
See you on Saturday, fellas.
See you, mate.